My name is Keller, and I'm a UI UX designer who is volunteering for that ecosystem. And I'm here with Marv, who works with the Agregore team. So Marv will be taking us through Agregore, kind of like a demo to show us what Agregore is about and how we can navigate Agregore. So Marv, please take it away.
Yeah, thanks. So as you can see on the screen, this is the main interface to Agregore, which is a web browser window. At the top, we have our URL bar where you enter URLs. And then on the welcome page, we just have some helpful links, like a link to the website where you can learn more, or a link to the Matrix community so you can get started and chatting with us. So past that, Agregore is a tool for browsing web pages. And what's different from other web browsers is that it can load web pages from peer-to-peer protocols. And what that means is rather than connecting to a website and loading data from there, Agregore lets you look up data based on its content ID. So sort of like BitTorrent, where you get a link to some data and download it from anybody that has a copy, you can do the same thing with a web page, where rather than finding like Facebook server, I can find anyone on either my local network, from my offline cache, or over the internet that has a copy of my web page. And the way to access that is super easy. What we can do is do //agregore.move.moe, load it up, and bam, it's a regular web page. But what's cool is this is being loaded from a peer-to-peer protocol instead of regular HTTP. So what's happening is that now if I go offline and I try to load this page again, I'll have it in my memory and I'll be able to access any data that I accessed here before. So if I say go to the docs page and look at our cool new IPFS docs, this data is all being saved locally to my computer. And what's more is I'm now participating in resharing the data. So if someone else with Agregore loads the same URL, then it's likely that they'll download some of these resources from my computer in addition to whatever computer I downloaded this from. So there's a tool called Distributed Press, which is what I use to publish all of my websites and keep them online, where I'm not just hacking around. And it's pretty easy to deploy. Under the hood, what it's doing is we're taking this DNS address and we're looking up the public key of this website, and then using that public key to download data from Hypercore protocol, or now known as Hole Punch, and download the data from peers and verify it using that key. So outside of loading data, Agregore actually gives you the ability to author new data. So what I'm going to do is tempt fate and try to make a new website and just live code it for you. So over here, we have the JavaScript console that is based on Google Chrome's DevTools. So this is available for any web page, and this is also how I usually interface with Agregore when I want to make a website. So in JavaScript and web programming, there's this API called fetch, which lets you fetch data from a URL. So for instance, if I do a fetch from the Agregore homepage and do parse it out as JSON, here you can see all of the files that I've actually uploaded to that website. So we have our README, we have some subfolders here for the GitHub actions and stuff like that. And this is all in the folder. And so in addition to fetching data, I can actually also say I want to post new data. So to create a new website with Hypercore, you're going to use the localhost host name, and we're going to say we want to take the localhost. We want to use the post method to post a new website. we're going to say the name of the website is live demo, and we're going to get the response as text. Did I get it right? Bam. So what I did here was I told Agregore, hey, create a new website for me with the name live demo. Live demo is now going to be used as the seed for this key, which is combined with Agregore's internal master key, which is used as a way to kind of like derive new things. So if I take that master key and save it to another version of Agregore, like to restore from backups, that name of the site will generate the same public key. So this here is the new public key for our website. So I'm just going to copy the link address, and I'm going to navigate to the site. Bam. So this is a new website, and what I can do is now I can take that URL and I can add some new data to it. URL. So let's say we're going to add an index.md. That's a markdown file, and I'm going to take the current location, and instead of a post, we're going to say we're going to put some data, and we're going to add a body which has some markdown. So we'll say, hello world, this is my first Agregore blog on Hypercore. So if I submit that and everything works, if I reload the page, now it automatically loads index.md, and you can see I have a blog. So if somebody else loads this horrifying looking URL, it will download this same page from my computer, and now it can spread across the network. So what's cool here is I just published a new site, and I didn't need to connect to the internet or talk to a server or pay Jeff Bezos for Amazon hosting or anything like that. It's completely local to your computer, and then you can share it directly with the people that you want to share it with without a third party in the middle. So there's some more to the protocol handlers, like being able to do live gossip using extension messages and the built-in pub/sub protocol, so that you can kind of connect to a URL and start sending arbitrary things to people on your local network. You can, of course, like delete data or upload multiple files and all of that. So documentation on that is available on the Agregore website. And if you have any questions, you can just pop into the Matrix channel and ping me, and we can talk about whatever you have on your mind. Yeah, so that's how to use Agregore, and I hope that kind of gave people a gist to start digging in deeper and seeing what they can make for themselves.
Yes, yes. It was it was exciting to watch and hear you, navigate Agregore, because now I have better understanding, and I'm very sure that anyone who's going to watch this is going to be clear. And yeah, it sheds more light on Agregore.
The other little thing is the extensions that come built into Agregore. So one of my favorites is the web recorder archiveweb.page extension. And what this lets you do is you can navigate to any website, be it peer-to-peer or non-peer-to-peer, and you can actually create an archive of that website to save for later. And in fact, you can take that archive and upload it to the IPFS protocol and share it with people over the peer-to-peer network, just like you would any other data. And those archives are useful in that you can replay them. So say there's a video you saw online and you want to save it to be available offline. You can archive that entire web page and then replay that archive at a later date. So personally, I think web archiving is a very useful tool for giving people more control over their data and over how they exchange data with each other. So instead of having to depend on whatever the cloud provider wants from you, you can instead download it and remix it and share it as much as you want. And I guess the other thing, we have a little bug here where the icon isn't working, but we have a built-in ad blocker. So I find that is essential given how awful the state of advertising is on the web right now. We're using uBlock Origin, which is kind of like blocks a lot of the ads and lets you block ads that it doesn't block by tweaking the settings. And what's cool is you can add any extension that you want to Agregore. So I encourage people to think about how they can customize the browser as a whole by adding new extensions, by adding things that give you new right-click context menus or new actions that you can add to your bar up here, or new ways of filtering data or remixing data or providing new JavaScript APIs. What's cool is that Agregore is fully customizable, and the built-in customizations are just kind of like a little hint as to what's possible if you want to mess with it yourselves. I think that's about it, though.
Yeah, now that is a very important piece of information about Agregore. Thank you so much for spilling the beans, so to speak.
Yeah, anytime. I've got loads of beans and lots of floor space for spilling them.
All right. I can't wait to see more as the days go by. Well done, Marv.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Marv, for your time. It was good speaking with you. Such a delight. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you as well. Yeah. Thanks also for all your patience in scheduling this. Time zones and all of that are really hard.